All right. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here. We are going to be doing a showcase of my Kid Icarus Super Nintendo port plus randomizer here on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel with what is this, the self randomization showcase. I am honored and privileged to be joined by Maniacal, who's going to be doing all the hard work and running the game. Maniacal, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, Rumble. Thank you for joining me, honestly, and letting me join you. Um, this is going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, as Rumble mentioned, this is the Kid Icarus Super Nintendo port that he has taken on the Herculean task of developing that incorporates the randomizer inside the ROM. And so I'm here on my SD to SNES with a bunch of other things on it. And we're going to fire up the Kid Icarus randomizer. And so I'm playing on original Super Nintendo hardware. And we're going to do a run through the vanilla game, or as vanilla as the Super Nintendo port can be. I'm going to do my best. It's been a while since I've run this game actively, but there's a
It's a
lot
hard
of
game. It's a hard game.
it's a hard game. It is, but it's actually a really cool vanilla speed run. So I hope I don't shame myself in front of Fruit Bat Salad, whom I see in the chat. But
Yeah.
but yeah, this game's sweet, and a lot of the speed tech that you'll see from the vanilla game and a lot of the screen topologies and things are incorporated assets in the randomizer. And so the fine folks at Final Fantasy Randomizer who are organizing this had suggested about a 2-hour showcase. And I was like, well, the randomizer's usually about 40 minutes if I'm doing well, and like an hour if I get a bad dungeon. And so we've got time to do the vanilla ROM, and so we get this landing screen
Awesome.
here. We can select the palette we want to use. I'm just going to use the NES palette. We can have 3DS background assets. I'm going to keep those on. And I don't have the files loaded for MSU, but it's got MSU enabled, which is awesome.
Yeah, it does have MSU1 support, so if you want to listen to the orchestral version of the music, you can do that. Or if you want to replace all the music with I don't know, whatever CD quality tracks you want, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so I'm going to, against all better judgment, run a timer for this. And we'll see how close to about half an hour I can do. So one of the cool things, I say cool in the giantest air quotes, about the Kid Icarus speedrun is there are okay deaths and there are very bad deaths. And the very bad deaths can take your time from good to absolutely atrocious in one missed platform. And so, we'll see how this goes. But you wanna give us a little countdown, Rumble?
All right, let's kick it off in three, two, one, go.
Oh, well, now we're going.
Yeah. All right, so here you'll see the first big difference on the Super Nintendo port. We have left the 3DS style backgrounds on, which was one of the lofty goals I had when I ported the game to the Super Nintendo. Is I was like, oh, we've got some extra horsepower, and the 3D Classics version of Kid Icarus had some really cool backgrounds. So I wonder what it would take to put them in. And so here you go. You get volcano lava in the background of World War One.
Yeah, so
World War One is a pretty straightforward stage in the vanilla speed run. Maniacal is going to generally just be climbing up, shooting and killing some enemies that get in his way, but mostly just making our way up to the exit here at the top.
Yeah, so the game is divided into 4 worlds. World 1 is a vertical scroller. World 2 is horizontal. World 3 is another vertical, and then World 4 is something different altogether.
World 4, they decided what game genre haven't we done yet in Kid Icarus? It's like, okay, let's do a shoot 'em up then for the end of the game for no reason whatsoever. Kid Icarus, I feel, is a very ambitious game. Like, they really crammed a lot of different cool stuff into this game for a very early NES and Famicom game.
So, in 1-2, I'm going to be killing a lot more enemies because there is a hidden point system in this game, and that's going to be different from in the randomizer. But I need to accrue 10,000 points in order to get a strength upgrade in this level, so I'm going to be killing more enemies, collecting more drops. Didn't do great there. We got a little glitchy snake. That is vanilla game behavior. Fully intended.
The in-game lore reason here is that you have to prove to Zeus that you are worthy of a strength upgrade, and so he judges you based on how many arrows you shoot. You get deducted points for every arrow you shoot, but every enemy you kill, you get points. Every heart you pick up, you get points. Every door you go in, I believe, deducts points.
That I'm less certain of. Although I know that I'm on a bad pace here drop-wise, so I'm going to have to farm a couple extra groups here.
Yeah,
because I missed a couple spawns early, and the platform IDs are also stored in memory in the same indices as the enemies. So you'll see enemies despawn when platforms spawn.
Yeah, an interesting implication of that is that the horizontal speed and vertical speed for vertical platforms, the original value will be what it was for the enemy. So you can use that to manipulate some things if you're very careful.
Okay, we're just gonna hope this is 10,000.
Let's hope.
Okay.
Hey, there's Zeus.
Glad you came. I'm glad I came too.
It's always a relief when he starts talking to you. Showing up to this room and it's empty, you're like, well, I guess I'm resetting, because you really, really do not want to do the rest of the game without this strength upgrade.
Yeah. So we got the strength upgrade. That is the first key thing, and I would normally go on with this health here in 1-3, but we're gonna, off the bottom of the screen, demonstrate that mechanic and get just that little extra bit of health, because 1-3 is a pretty rough stage in the speed run. In the vanilla game, there's 1-2 is the farming stage, and 1-3 is the health preservation stage.
Yeah, I blame 1-3 for the reputation that this game has as like a Nintendo hard game, because 1-3 casually is very hard.
We're gonna
but
go
the
for
rest
this.
of the game
Hey.
really isn't. Hey, nice. I think that's a pixel perfect jump there.
It's a 3-frame.
3-frame jump.
If what I believe FPS told me years and years ago is correct, which I have no reason to believe it is not.
I would trust anything FPS says about Kid Icarus.
Just in general.
Really anything.
I was in a weird spot on that screen. But yeah, you can wrap around left to right. You can't scroll off the bottom, and as long as you do those things, it'll be okay.
You may have noticed our backgrounds have gone from fiery brimstone to frozen to now a lush green environment.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We're working our way up through the underworld, up to the surface world here. We're I think essentially escaping from Hades in the lore of the game up to the surface world and heading over to Mount Olympus eventually.
That does track. See, I was just kind of confused. I was like, yeah, they just like made some sweet backgrounds and dialed them up, but no, that is lore consistent. Oh, I thought we were gonna get the skip there on that Reaper, but now we get to enjoy Reaper tunes. Oh, this is
a pretty terrible platform cycle.
Yeah, this is not lovely. I could probably have pushed that a little bit faster, but again, like, a death just sends you all the way back to the beginning of the stage, and so for the purposes of something like this, I don't want us to have to relive 1-3.
You do have infinite continues in Kid Icarus, and you do restart the level with up to 2 bars of health, however much, if you have at least 2 bars of health. And also, any items that you had at the beginning of the stage will be replenished back up to what you had. So if you enter a stage with a wine bottle and a feather and you use them but then die, you get them back, which is, I think, pretty generous. And nicely done. And like always a big relief to get through 1-3 in the
Yeah.
speed run. And now we head into the first fortress stage, which is these cool little mazes where Maniacal's gonna take a
Yeah.
gonna take a death here first, and then take a quick shortcut through a wall to get to the boss a little bit faster.
Yeah. So, again, just abundance of caution. Because I do things like that, and then would have died.
Did you not want to get the map? How do you know where you're going? You're
Um,
gonna leave it there.
I'm really bad at reading maps.
Okay. Well, I
That's
mean, you wouldn't have the torch and the pencil anyway, so I guess. So here's the skip I was talking about.
oh,
You can
I
actually
thought I had it there.
flip through this wall here and skip a bunch of the dungeon. We'll actually be doing similar skips like this in all three of the fortresses in the vanilla game. There you
That
go.
wasn't too bad.
Just it's so Michael Jackson moonwalker right through that wall, and here we are at Twin Bellows, and we'll just lock him up here in this position where he is, I don't know, his strategy has a flaw, and it doesn't seem very smart to me, but yeah, there he goes.
So, we can normally only fire about this fast, but if you duck in between, you can fire substantially faster, and we're going to be using that to various levels of effect in different fights. But honestly, like, 8-minute, kind of lazy adjacent World 1, I'm not too upset with that.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. And here we are in 2-1. This is another power-up stage. So Maniacal will be making sure to farm enough hidden score so that Zeus will provide him with his second power-up and the final power-up that we get in the speed run. At least I assume you're not going to get the third or fourth.
Speedrun is generous, but yes, in the speedrun of Kid Icarus, this would be the last upgrade you get, and this is the last upgrade I'll be getting in this brisk stroll through Kid Icarus.
Yeah. They, thinking about it just mathematically, the more power-ups you get, the less impactful the later ones are, right? So our first power-up doubles our strength from 1 to 2.
You
Our
say
next
that.
one gives us a power of 3. And after that, they get much less impactful. And if you can get all the way to 5, it is nice because you two-shot some of the larger enemies. But other than that, it's not really that useful, especially in the speed run.
Yeah, in the speedrun. But in the randomizer, I'll be very happy to have extra strength upgrades into 4-1 because of the falling block enemies.
Absolutely, that is also
So
very
there's
nice being able to kill those.
there are some enemies you'll be able to kill at maximum strength in one shot in 4-1 that make getting enough kills because of the mechanic of that level substantially more attainable. Oh,
Yeah.
had a little bit of a haphazard jump there.
I tend to get all of my strength upgrades in the randomizer because I can't not go in every door that I see, because what if there's something really cool in there, even though I know all of the possibilities? I just got to check them out. Just like in Zelda, after I'm in go mode, I've got to open up all the chests. What if there's something cool?
We got Purple Pit now, which is
Yeah.
not
This is Wave Beam Pit.
yeah, not objectively best pit, but speedrun best pit.
Yeah. 2-1 here. We're going to do our first screen wrap. So Maniacal's going to clip through on the left side. This puts him on the very right edge of the screen. And while you might think this seems like it's going to make it harder, and it is a little bit, it will allow us to make a few platform cycles that we would otherwise have to wait for.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you talk through this one because I'm gonna be doing this.
You go ahead and focus on your jumps. The other nice part about let's talk about the thieves. Thieves in the speedrun are the best enemy that you can ever see because they steal the items that you can earn from the training rooms, which we don't get. So they do basically nothing to you at all. The other nice part about being on the right side of the screen here for this screen wrap is that these enemies basically don't touch you. You can see that they fly a certain distance over to the right, and Maniacal is further to the right than that. So they just kind of fly around and leave you alone, and you go about your merry business there. Uh, it's hard to tell from watching Maniacal on here, but these platforms are ice, and we all know that ice physics in every game ever made are always terrible, and Kid Icarus is no exception. The ice physics will kill you.
This wrap is all about getting this platform cycle.
Yep.
And letting you move cleanly through that.
Yep. Otherwise, you're jumping on the first platform and waiting, and then usually waiting on the second platform, and it's a much slower pace to do that.
And I could take an extra hit here. My health is a little too high for the death I'd like to take here at the start of 2-3, but that's okay.
Yeah, Maniacal will be taking another intentional death at 2-3. 2-3 is another hard stage with no chalice to heal you at any point in the stage. So,
never mind.
Rather than dying 2/3 of the way through the stage, we'll just die right away and get 2 full bars of health here. And he's going to do another screen wrap here to try to make a very tight platform cycle, much tighter than the one we made in 2-2, but also saves quite a bit of time.
Okay.
And just by the tip of your toes, got on that platform, but that saves again a lot of time having to wait on those platforms.
And now this is another don't take too much damage stage. And so do you want to talk a little bit about these lava timing cycles?
Yeah, so all of the environmental effects in Kid Icarus are on a cycle. I think it's 16 frames. They check every 16 frames if pit is in them. So you can actually walk in them a little bit and then jump out. So you'll see Maniacal whenever he goes in the lava, kind of jump and hop through it, trying to avoid being in the lava or these brambles are the same thing. Try to avoid being in them when the game is ticking. Now we don't really know for the most part when those ticks are happening. We just try and try and avoid it as best we can and save whatever health that we can at the time.
I'll say I've had a rough go here at 2-3 so far, so my health is in very bad sorts.
It is very easy to suddenly take a lot of damage in this game.
Yeah, these...
I don't know who put that pot of snakes up in the ceiling, but it seems like a bad place for it to be.
I am not a particular fan of what's going on here in this run of 2-3, so we might be seeing 2-3 again, and I'm actually gonna just do this one nice and slow here.
Yeah, I think.
Or we're just gonna die. Okay, because
we'll see.
Jump mechanics are great. All right, we get to do that cool wrap again, or do we? Okay. Well, we'll see what it looks like if you don't do that wrap. This is...
Yeah, we'll compare.
Yeah. 2-3 can just go that way, and this is why I said, like, the goal is a generous goal, but this is what that wrap got us, is not doing these platforms this way. So we started this at about 15:35 on the timer, and you'll see this is, I mean, what, roughly a 15 to 20 second skip there?
Yeah, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah, it felt not great, as 2-3 is wont to do. Okay, we have substantially more health this time, although, oh, man, These guys are spawning in not generous ways, but that's cool.
The hearts that Maniacal is collecting here are used to buy items. We will buy an item in the 2-4 shop. Usually, that's generally the only item that we buy in the speed run. We'll buy a little bit of health at some point, but it is currency. I don't really understand games like. To me, if you see a heart in a game and you pick it up, it should be health. It should give you health. But Castlevania and Kid Icarus, for whatever reason, are like, no, it's money. I don't understand.
I mean, Nintendo, right? So
I guess. And Konami.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, we're taking it nice and slow here in 2-3, and going through the randomizer, it might look a little more like that just because we don't really know what's coming up.
Yeah, we also probably will not be screen wrapping in the randomizer. You could do it. It would be a bold choice, but I would recommend not screen wrapping when you don't know what the level looks like at all.
That was an unfortunate hop, and we're gonna hope that we don't get murdered here. Oh, no, we got murdered by that frog. I thought I was gonna be able to get that shot off. Okay, 2-3, doing 2-3 things.
I think it's I don't know if I agree with FBS that these are the best backgrounds, but I do really like the 2-3 background, so I don't mind spending a little bit of time in 2-3.
It is a good background. Oh, I thought the edge that I bumped there was gonna throw me off of that, but I was optimistic that maybe I was just wrong. That's not gonna wrap. There we go. I swear, this is a game that I've played before and practiced.
Yeah, hey, if there's anybody in chat that thinks they could do this better, let me know, but I really doubt it.
Someone tag FBS.
Yeah, oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
He's probably out of practice. Probably doesn't even remember how to play Kid Icarus anymore.
We're both out of practice. He's probably more in practice than me, if honest. No, I've been de-rusting a little bit, and it's a super fun run, honestly. But it's unforgiving, and normally this just turns into, oh well, we reset in 2-3 again, and that happens. It's not what we would call a marathon safe game.
Yeah, it is very tough. I will shout out some beginner strats. If you are just learning Kid Icarus 1, you can, if you've been going a little bit slower and have the hearts, go in that shop that Maniacal just passed and buy a chalice to heal halfway through this stage, which makes it a lot more approachable.
I might be needing that particular piece of tech here if we die again in 2-3.
You mean you can demonstrate? You don't need it, but you can demonstrate if you want.
I could demonstrate the beginner strat, the friend.
Yeah.
The shop there. That I'm on board. We are going to. Oh, he got me anyway. Gonna kill the snowman. Normally with tighter health management, we just can blow through that there.
By the way, the backgrounds on the World 2 stages, you start at basically sunup and then go towards dusk and then nighttime. So you're like basically spending the entire day walking the overworld, heading to Mount Olympus.
Okay.
And now it's nighttime.
I can't wait for us to get to the Mount Olympus sounds, because that is my favorite track in the game. Don't do it. Okay.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like. By the way, that's how close Maniacal was to the end of the stage when he did die. There was not much left, and that's how punishing this game is. Like, you can die, and it's the whole stage. Do it all again.
Yep. I'm finished. There we go.
Would you like some steamed hams, Poplars?
Probably. I mean, that sounds
Uh,
delicious.
so here you'll be seeing another clip through the wall. This time it allows us to skip a big loop in the maze that we'd have to go around otherwise. This one's a little bit more dangerous because there is lava here that we. So this can be a pretty finicky wall jump that will can cause a lot of time loss in runs, but it's definitely worth going for in most runs, unless maybe if you're just starting out and don't want to do the wall clips at all.
Well, yeah. I was just like I need to stay off this. So the damage pips from that are every 32 frames.
Oh, is it 32?
Yeah,
You
32.
think
I
the
think.
guy that decompiled the game would know these things, but I guess not.
And
Um,
I was trying to dodge that part of the cycle, but also my internal frame counter is not perfect. So,
I I know it is possible to kind of figure out the frame based on the spikes that are coming out of the previous room, because they come out on a similar timer, and then if you can kind of keep that in your head. I can't do that, just to be clear, but some people have been known to.
there we
There
go.
you go.
See? It's easy.
Clipping through that wall lets us go down here, which is going to bring us very close to the boss. We're also going to be going through another shop where Maniacal will be able to buy some health if he would like.
He would like.
These eggplant wizards, I think a lot of people are also don't really fondly remember from their time with Kid Icarus. Getting hit by those eggplants will turn Pit into an eggplant. The only way in the cure the eggplant condition is to find a hospital. You do not want to do that in the speed run. You would probably just reset the entire level at that point rather than try to get to a hospital. Here is another game with bot wound. Every good game has a bot wound in it. That's a theorem I believe has been coined. You'll see Maniacal using that duck cancel tech to be able to try to get as many arrows as he can into the boss. Boss just kind of follows this pattern. It's not a very hard boss if you're patient, but if you get if you get impatient and start trying to follow him around too much, you'll take some chip damage here and there in the lava and get hit from him, and then before you know it, you're dead. But mostly, just follow him around, shoot him in the head. Not too bad. All right, 3 more hits here, and we'll be on to World 3. I assume you're not doing the underflow
No,
strat.
no. My health. So you could lower your health here and go for an underflow that refills your health. That's not something I'm going to use in the vanilla speedrun here, and it's not something that we'll be using in the randomizer either.
Yep. All right, so here's the start of World 3. World 3, by the way, has my favorite backgrounds. I like all 3 of these. They're I don't know. I made them, so it's a little bit self-indulgent, but I think they're very good.
I mean, I think World 3 just in general is a pretty amazing world.
Yeah,
The music is fun, the platforming is fun. There's fun like speed tech in it. It's just generically a pretty swell place.
There are things named Phil and things named Collins.
Those are paired together, of course.
Yeah. These are the little winged versions of the thieves, by the way. Again, we don't have anything for them to take, so it doesn't really matter. But if you were going for a 100% run, I think they do come into play.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the only
Ridley.
instant of those enemies that you'll see. You also will not see them in the randomizer because it turns out they break moving platforms if they're anywhere close to a screen of moving platforms, and so I just passed them out because I did not want to deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't want to chance that jump
Yeah.
over there.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, there is no scrolling down in Kid Icarus. There is only death. So
As any good Nintendo game. Yeah, this is. It's just not. The platforms were not where I wanted them there. Oh, I was hoping to maybe knock it.
and
Punked by
definitely not Metroids. These are Komados, I believe. Not Metroids.
No. Don't have to freeze them to kill them. That's how you can tell.
Yeah. I love this section. Like it's so smooth, like all the way up those moving platforms. Just feels really good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was a
Hey,
really
let's
bad
do it again.
spread on those guys. Alright, let's... Well, I'll be a little less cavalier with my health here this time, I suspect.
Yeah, fun fact,
Oh.
when those guys freak out, they won't hurt you. But when they stop freaking out, they will hurt you. And if you get hit, you get pushed back a couple pixels. So
They do push you to the left, as it turns
and
out.
they will always, I believe, always push you to the left.
Yeah.
FBS probably knows for certain. He made a very cool tool-assisted speedrun of this game, as well as being the world record holder. So. But yeah, there you can see Maniacal just jumping right through the freaking out Reaper. Yeah.
It was deserved after the mean things that Reaper has done to me so far this run.
Yeah, what have you ever done to that Reaper? Like, you've done nothing.
That is the goal.
Also, the way those Reapers work, by the way, they quote-unquote see you by shooting out a little sprite projectile that hits Pit, and if that comes into contact with you, triggers them freaking out and summoning their little guys. So if there's things blocking it, like they can't see you.
Also, these guys
And it's
deal
also-
a boatload of damage if they hit you, so I'm gonna try and dodge these jumping frogs.
Yeah, and they are one of the few enemies that you won't kill in one hit with 2 strength upgrades as well. They take 2 hits with this level of power.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get revenge on them in the randomizer, but not in this vanilla run. But
The baby!
yeah, if you pay attention to the screens and the assets from each of these levels, you'll notice that a lot of these things get appropriated and stitched together in the randomizer in, frankly, really cool ways. Now, I've messed up yet another platform cycle, so we're gonna wait on this and hope that the top platforms are good here. Okay.
Yeah, if you're paying very close attention, you'll see similar screens show up more than once, right? And that's because Kid Icarus is made together of several stitched together screens, and a level is, might be screen 2, then screen 5, then screen 13, and so on and so forth, and it reuses them. And so for the randomizer, what we did is we took all those screens, we figured out which ones could connect to which, and then we put them in different order than they are originally, and make make a new level. And sometimes you end up with really cool things. Sometimes you end up with, I don't want to say jank, but things that they would probably not put in a real game, but I think are cool.
I think that's a generous and fair way to describe it.
Yeah.
I'm not going for that jump. Absolutely not. That's not where we're at right now.
This is the last scrolling level, moving up Mount Olympus. And there we are. All done.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the boss of the third fortress. This will be so cool, right?
You might get to wait just a little longer. It depends how things go. But I'm optimistic that we can maybe see that boss today.
Cool. So Maniacal's going to head here down to the bottom right-hand corner of the map, and when you clip into a wall and go in a door, you can actually go into it on the other side. And if you go into a door on the right side of a room, it always sends you to the next room sequentially. So if you're in room 8 and you exit the right side, you go to room 9. Right now we're in room 64. And so if we can exit this room to the right, we'll go to room 65. And room 65 is actually not in the dungeon. There is no room 65. So the game just assumes you've finished the dungeon and exits the level. And done. We're done.
Unfortunately, we don't have everything. Pit equipped himself with 3 treasures.
All right, and so now we're in the shoot 'em up portion of the game. Maniacal will be flying through. This actually will loop indefinitely, but in order to stop it from looping, he has to kill 50 enemies. Once he kills 50 enemies, at the end of the series of screens, Medusa will come and will take care of her. So he's going to be concentrating on getting at least 50 enemies killed, and then we'll see the Medusa fight. Those are the blocks that Maniacal mentioned earlier. Very nice to be able to, if you had high power, you could kill those blocks even if they're falling. These ones that stop on the ground, you can kill, which is nice. And they, rack up your total a little bit. I also can't stress enough how awkwardly this shoot 'em up controls.
Oh my gosh!
Pit like flaps his wings and like hovers a little bit while you're going, and so you try and you push down and he doesn't quite.
Oh my gosh!
Doesn't quite listen to you, and then he goes a bit. It is worse on the Famicom Disk System. On the Famicom Disk System, you have to continually hit A to keep flying. And the walls all have collision. Here in the NES version and the Super Nintendo version, which is based on the NES version, none of the walls or blocks here will have collision. But in the Famicom Disk System version, it is a little bit different. Although in the Famicom Disk System version, you can shoot every 16 frames, and on this one, you can only shoot.
I was afraid we were going around again, if honest.
No, you've got the red bricks. You're good.
Yep, I know. I was afraid.
Oh, you were afraid
that we were going around again.
So here's Medusa. We're gonna shoot her in the eye a few times and shoot the snakes as they come out. This is a safe spot that Maniacal is standing in. Basically, she shoots too low to hit you, and as long as you can hit the snake in the head on the way, then you'll never get hit. There is a crazy faster strat that you can use if you are right up next to the eye on Medusa. There is a 50% chance that every shot you shoot will do double damage because you're actually shooting 2 arrows at a time, and on odd or even frames, I forget which one it is, they'll both hit the eye. But I don't think we're worried about saving those frames today. GG Maniacal, nicely done.
Right.
Good job finishing. You do get the worst ending in the speedrun because we don't have max of anything, so we get the farmer ending. She doesn't kiss us. We don't get all buff. There's no confetti, but you're welcome. You're welcome.
You get to retire and farm. It's great, but we've set the bar. So 35-44, not quite what I was hoping for, but we'll take it. And rather than spoil the credits, I think the randomizer credits are the same. Yes.
Yeah, these are the same as the
Okay.
randomizer.
So I'm not going to spoil the credits yet. We're just going to reset.
We can restart. And then I have a question for you, Maniacal. Which Final Fantasy do you prefer? Do you prefer Final Fantasy 2 or Final Fantasy 9?
Wow. US 2 or
Yeah, we'll say US 2 because I think the Famicom 2 is probably not in anybody's discussion.
I was going to say US Final Fantasy 2 was my first Final Fantasy. And I didn't even know what an RPG was. I was just like, this game is sweet. And like, young child me was like, I gotta play more of that. So I spent a lot of time with like Cecil and Rydia and Golbez and Fusoya and Yang. It was good times. So
Okay.
we're going Final Fantasy 2.
All right.
How is that?
Cool.
How is that a relevant detail, Rumble?
That's good. That determines which seed I'm going to give you.
Okay. Well, we'll head.
All right. So this is a new feature of the randomizer that I just added. Turn on the randomizer and go continue.
Yeah.
If you want to race people or do anything else, you can put in a seed so that everybody gets the same randomization. And the seed we're going to use, it has to start with KI, capital K, capital I. And then we will do KI, and then all capitals, FFR, because we are on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel. And because you said 2 was your favorite over 9, we'll do FFR 2.
All right.
There you go.
And when I hit start here, I believe it's going to throw me right into 1-1.
You wanna countdown?
Absolutely. I also wanted to get
All
a
right.
drink of my water, but yeah, let's see if we can get like sub hour would be a good goal here.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start
see how this
in
goes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So it starts
All
out
right.
looking the same, except here's these guys.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Those weren't there before.
Oh, and now all bets are off. My muscle memory's gone, and the stages look like stages I've seen before, kind of.
Yeah. They have parts of that you've seen before. Oh, hey, look, an item. That's nice. Items are all randomized.
Oh. Strength
Look, 2
upgrades
doors.
also
Right.
randomized. Oh, and that door didn't close on me. It's a different screen door.
You'll notice the prices. Well, I guess you wouldn't. We didn't show. We saw some shops in the.
Just a
So the
little bit.
prices in the randomizer lowered pretty significantly. I think the prices in the vanilla game are
That was nice.
pretty inflated.
That was a nice stitching together of screens that we got there. That I was cruising kind of like it was World 1, and it got me. It got me.
Yeah.
So
If you put in a seed for the randomizer, it will keep the same layout, even if you die. So he should have a pretty good idea of what's coming up this time. You'll notice it's all the same layout and enemies. If you do just a random seed, the game will re-randomize every time you die for the scrolling. But now we know what's in these doors, so we don't need to go in there. And, again, ice physics can be tricky. Climax, I've honestly thought about doing like what it would take to implement down scrolling in Kid Icarus. So I don't know, maybe if I get really ambitious one of these days, I'll patch in scrolling in the other direction. We'll see what it would take. But yeah, we're gonna be climbing up. The other thing you may or may not notice, but these levels will be a little bit longer than vanilla level. It gives us a little bit more, I don't know, chance for randomization. Just padded them out a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll get to see more of the background as well, because it doesn't scroll all the way in the vanilla.
Go in the pink door.
Lots of shops. No, what Maniacal's really looking for is a strength up. So in the randomizer, there is no score requirement to get a strength upgrade. You just have to find the right door with Zeus, and he'll more than happily provide you with some extra firepower. There are also some limits on how often a strength upgrade can occur. So if you have a strength of, let's just say Pit starts at a strength of 1, and you get a strength of 2, the game won't spawn another strength upgrade later in that level if it's spawning the level. But if you go into this level with a strength of 0, then strength upgrades can spawn in the level. And there could be more than one. Theoretically, you could get a 1-1 that has 4 strength upgrades in it. It'd be very, very rare, but could be cool. I have yet to see more than 2 in any one level, but it is theoretically possible.
Oh, we get this nice end here. I'm just going to pick up some extra points here with the goal of hopefully at the end of 1-2 getting that first health upgrade. We didn't get our known spawn there. This stage looks awesome. I'm digging the palette here. See if I can't find. Hey, there we go.
There's our first strength upgrade. So that's a big one. This game gets really rough if you happen to not find a strength upgrade in World 1, which can happen in the randomizer. It doesn't guarantee that strength upgrades occur. Doing twin bellows with 1 strength is annoying. It's not that hard, but it is annoying.
That is fair. Also, not getting very generous spawns here in 1-2, so I think we might be doing 1-3 on a single bar of health, but that's okay.
Yeah, what we really want to see is the well, now that we have 2 strength, the guys that come from the bottom of this, they're pretty nice to get points on, but those eye octopuses that come from the top are really the bread and butter when it comes to getting points on the stage. And by the way, I don't know if we ever explained it, but the reason you want points is that you get your second bar of health at 20,000 points. So that's what we're looking to get. It'd be nice if we got it before 1-2. I say we. I'm not playing, but it'd be nice if we got it before 1-2. We get it before.
You know what? I'm gonna buy this cheap here.
Oh. I thought you might go for the feather. You had 120. I thought you might go for the feather, but healing is also very good.
I'm just gonna try and keep the health in good standing. Although based on how things went earlier, maybe I could use the feather.
Ooh, and that's the scary Hip Tanaka room.
Maybe a strength upgrade? Nope. Same room. I don't think that's going to make a difference. We didn't get very many spawns at all in that stage.
Nope.
Yeah, not.
So you're gonna be looking to get about 6,900 points in this stage before he exits. 1-4 can be brutal on 1 bar of health, just because you don't know what the layout is going to be, and there can be some pretty tough enemies in the fortresses that do a lot of damage.
Yeah, we'll see how this 1-3 treats me.
That'd be a cruel randomizer if they're like, "Now we're just gonna. There are gonna be no enemies in 1-1 through 1-3, and then force you to do 1-4 on 1 bar of health."
I've put myself through 1-4 on 1 bar of health. I think basically every practice seed that I did, and I resigned myself or like committed to specifically not doing that to me.
Well, you picked the seed, so you can't blame me.
I did. This is I did this to me. I selected this carefully and deliberately to share with all of you.
So this is a fun thing that can happen in the random. Death on a platform. A little bit scary.
Yeah, missed my cycle there. We'll see how this works out. Okay, well,
All right.
not as bad as it could have been.
Oh, there's some juicy points.
Yeah, I'm picking those guys up even before going in here. Harsh
Oh,
training.
you don't want to do some harsh training?
I feel like I'm already doing that, if honest.
The training rooms give 3 different upgrades that you can get. There is a shield that has 2 rotating spikes around you that'll damage enemies. There's the longbow, which will let you shoot all the way across the screen. And there's the fire upgrade, which adds a little swirling fire to your arrows that does the equivalent of a strength 5 hit on the enemies.
I should be in good
no
shape
bottle, huh?
points wise here. No bottle. I believe in the second bar of health here. Oh, this is something. That was a double snake there. Well, maybe I should have gotten that bottle, huh?
Yeah, you got to be almost done with the level, I think.
We're pretty close. Oh, I can buy this.
This-
I can't buy that bottle. That's
This guy's stuff is still very expensive. All right, here's the end of the level, though.
yeah.
So, barring that frog clipping through the wall or
Or
hitting
that thing.
hitting that enemy,
Yeah, that
but
guy's
we did
spawning
get-
in.
we did get to 20,000 points. So we've got the health upgrade, which will be nice.
So here we are.
Yeah, here we are. This is 1-4, and you'll notice he's already got the map, the torch, and the pencil. So in the randomizer, we basically give those to the players for free. Figure, hey, this is actually useful in a randomizer to be able to scene since you don't know the layout. So you get those for free, and you can no longer find the map in the dungeon, and you can't. Well, I guess technically you could buy the pencil and the torch, but buying them would actually turn them off. So don't do that.
Okay.
Oh, so
I don't.
Maniacal has made his way down to the bottom right-hand corner of the dungeon here, and if you remember what we did in 3-4 in the vanilla game, I believe, I don't want to spoil or guess what Maniacal's doing, but planning to do the same thing here.
I'm trying to get this guy out of the way, but
It's a little bit of a tighter jump with this setup because you just got the two bricks. But oh, nicely done. Oh, unfortunately, a little bit
no.
too far on that side of the door. So I just used it as a normal door, and all the guys come back.
yeah,
I mean, he just wanted some more hearts, I think.
I did. So maybe I can afford that bottle next time I come by that guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it another go here because we've already seen Twin Bellows today.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't, done anything to you. There's no reason to just let him hang out in his fortress. He's fine.
Oh my gosh.
You don't need his treasure. You'll have it anyway. I promise you.
Okay, there we go.
Now, it is not always possible to do this in this room. You need a certain setup in, like, you need these to have basically a full wall in front of the door that you can clip into and push yourself through. So many of the dungeon layouts. Also, I do not recommend doing this in other rooms in the dungeon just to see what happens, because it is very likely that you will soft lock yourself in some room that you can't get out of.
I have learned this.
You got this.
No, I've learned the don't do this in other rooms strat.
Oh. Sometimes you can't do it if you know what room is the next room in the next row. Like, you can, like, it can be useful, but generally it's a bad idea.
See, I'm being over conservative with this jump now after jumping into the right side and having to re-kill the room.
Yep.
I'm just like, okay, well, the failure mode of being too late is way better than the failure mode of being too early. So there we go.
And there we go. We're out of 1-4, straight on to 2-1.
We'll see how this one goes. This looks like 2-3 to me. Okay.
Oh, we got a strength upgrade already.
That is great.
Nice.
So
that's a really nice one to get in World 2, because those frogs now die.
Yeah, I think we're not getting another strength upgrade in World 2 then. Or except for the one we're about to get again. We're gonna get we're gonna get one more.
There can be you can get up to, they'll keep spawning until you have 4. So you can get one more after you can get up to the human colored pit one in World 2.
Okay. I thought it was 3 max in World 2. I've been wrong. Also, even beyond max, I'll keep checking this stage, because if what you told me is correct, and I believe that it is, it rolls all of the doors for the stage at the start.
Yes. So, it's possible that you could actually find 2 more upgrades here if you were very lucky. The human color, you know what I mean. It is like, he's not a color, he just looks like a human colored person.
A human colored person.
You know what I mean, don't you? Look, we're about to see it right here. Oh no, that's training.
No, that's harsh training. I thought we were getting it too. I thought that the randomizer and the seed that I had selected were going to be nice to me.
I will tell you, this was the nicer of the 2 seeds.
I believe that.
The other seed was your first strength upgrade was not until the very end of
Until the very end of what?
1-3.
Okay.
So not terrible. I wasn't going to give you a seed that didn't have a strength upgrade.
That's fair.
That just felt too mean.
I've yet to play one that doesn't have a strength upgrade anywhere.
Like, even like in any of the worlds, I haven't played anywhere there were none in the entire. But generally, because if I don't have one by the end of World 2, especially, I just stop. I just find a new seed.
Oh my gosh, that was a cool layout there.
Yeah, you'll see in the randomizer sometimes a lot of weird behaviors with the hammers. A lot of enemy types don't play very well with being turned into a hammer, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about limiting where the harp can spawn, just depending on the enemies.
I'd say that the weird behavior at times is part of the charm.
Yeah.
So this is the platform cycle that we dodged in 2-2.
Yeah.
That nice slow platform cycle. That's what wrapping the screen got us around. We can wrap
Die,
this.
frog.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna screen wrap?
I
You
was
probably
thinking
would have
about
died,
it. Then
died in that pit right there.
I over scrolled it and I thought, we'll just play it straight up. All right, chalice.
That is one of my favorite parts of the randomizers, finding random chalices. Something that I think the game is way too stingy about in the vanilla game.
The strength upgrades, everything is randomized, so there are some times where it's surprisingly kind.
No bottle again, huh? Just don't like the bottles. I'm a big fan of bottles. So
Bottles are great.
Oh, all right. Now we're gonna see human pit. Tell me that doesn't look like human pit.
I thought it was like red.
I don't know, maybe.
Because I feel like you start off as like human pit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's not a human anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. He's an angel.
Angel Land story. Can we get extra lucky?
Ooh, are we? Oh,
whoa!
Yep. Look at this. So this is one of the rare occasions where you can get to strength 5 on World 2, because 2 of them spawned in one level. So we are now at max strength.
This is the kindest seed I've ever played. all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Extra bonus human pit.
I don't know. I'm not much of a Dragon Ball Z aficionado, but I believe they get blue hair when they go Super Duper Saiyan.
Super Duper Saiyan.
I don't know.
I feel like that's like a Missy Elliott thing. Not actually.
I feel like I've seen a picture of Goku with blue hair. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just gonna keep checking for strength upgrades and see if it gave me something.
I am pretty sure that the game logic prevents Zeus from spawning if you already have strength 5.
You heard it here. The developer is pretty sure that it's a behavior that doesn't happen.
Listen, the history of this game is wild, and it was like coded in a month by like a team that didn't want to work on it. It's got some jank in it. Like the vanilla game has got some jank. This is a nice big jump that the randomizer did.
That was a healthy jump there.
All right, I can tell you for certain now that the randomizer will not spawn any more strength upgrades.
That's
because you are at 5 strength. So
I had to do it.
Worth a shot.
I had to go for it.
But now we're 2-shotting snowmen like a boss.
Yeah, I'm not going to be checking any more doors unless like my health gets into a dire situation, because now I believe that the game will not spawn any more upgrades.
Unless there's a bug. And not to say that I wasn't fixing bugs, 4 hours ago this morning, right before we're doing this broadcast. So there can't possibly be any other.
As we've highlighted, this game is known for its very consistent and very well curated behaviors.
I do like how the rocks, because they share a palette with Pit, they become blue when you when you're blue Pit.
Yeah. The frogs, they resist taking on Pit's coloration.
That is another thing I would love. It would be a pretty big effort, but um, the the sprites they're NES sprites, so they only use 4 colors each for each bit of the sprite. But the Super Nintendo actually supports 16 colors per sprite, and so it is entirely possible for us to up-res all of these sprites and have them be, a lot more detailed. It would just take somebody who has actual artistic talent instead of me to make all the sprites and then get them all in the game to use more colors. I say
Yeah,
it would be a lot of work.
we're we're cruising now. Like,
Yeah,
this is good.
we might
The vanilla speedrun time.
beat the vanilla speedrun time.
Depends how fast I can
Those
find my way through these dungeons.
That's true. Those eggplant wizards, they will still turn you into an eggplant in the randomizer. However, in the randomizer, we have changed it so that after a certain period of time, the eggplant will just go away. It's just a timed debuff where you can't shoot instead of a force you to find a hospital. And because of that, I've also removed all the from mentions. Don't hurt yourself. There is no ambulance.
There are chalices.
There's the torch and the pencil, which you can still buy if you have nearly maxed hearts. If you want to spend a massive amount of hearts and then also turn off a feature that you have.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
unfortunately,
what I thought.
no.
That's what I thought we were going with. Oh, but hey.
Oh, but there is Bot Wound dropping us right into his pit, hanging out. And this is actually going to be a much faster Bot Wound fight. Sorry, his
You
name's
say
not
that.
actually Bot Wound, but you do a lot more damage. This is one of the cases where having full strength makes a more significant difference. It'll be 40 shots to kill instead of like 68, 70. I don't know, something. 67 shots with strength 3 and quite a bit less with 5.
Yeah. All right, we did it.
Die, monster! Yeah, strength 5 only does 5 damage. I mean, the most, aside from bosses, the most hit points anything has 10. So, I don't know, doing significantly more damage doesn't actually help you in that many places.
I'm actually really glad that we got at least one boss room clip.
Yeah, I was pretty happy you picked this seat because I was hoping you would find and show the
Yeah.
1-4 boss room clip.
Yeah, we're just gonna ride this one around. Oh, we can kill those guys in one shot now, so that's
We can
excellent.
kill those guys. It's super nice to be able to kill those guys in one shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've definitely ended otherwise decent attempts at this game. I don't think I'm gonna make that, but we'll catch it over here. That's one of the things is you're often beholden to platform cycles, and so you can only go as fast as the platforms will let you, or as fast as the vertical scroll will let you. There's a nice little 3-frame jump we could go for there, but I'm feeling a little more casual about it. Ooh.
Yeah, and we have taken is
Okay.
the randomizer shouldn't require any like three. It shouldn't require any three frames.
No.
If anybody's worried about them, there is always a kind of standard jump that Pit can do to make it. It can be challenging, but it'll never require the three frame jumps.
I do like how
Anything
you
really tricky.
almost called them free frame jumps to make fun of me for missing them. Actually free.
Yeah, I mean there's 2 frames that you can miss and still make it.
I know. Get any one of those 3 frames, and look at me hitting any other frame.
I will say, as we're in World 3 now, anybody that's looking to try this out, it is available to download. Feel free to. I have it pinned to my Blue Sky profile if you want to find me there. You can find the links to it. Do give Maniacal a follow. He does stream a lot of randomized. Quite the accomplished Super Metroid and Link to the Past randomizer runner.
I think I'm something like OX lifetime against you in randomizer tournaments, if I remember right.
Yep, and I'm retired, so it's gonna stay that way.
It's gonna stay that way. So, Rumble speaks kindly. We couldn't get a lucky dodge that time, but that's okay. Alright, we're just gonna walk the long way around as required there. So the randomizer will force you to like wrap the screen left and right and do some possibly otherwise unintuitive routing through some of the screens, but I think that's the charm of it. I do think it's a very fun randomizer. Especially considering like the game upon which it is built, which is also independently fun.
I've always liked Kid Icarus, which is why, obviously I've spent a lot of time building and working on this version and the randomizer. I do think there are some design choices that I personally feel the randomizer fixes. If I were to just tweak the original Kid Icarus, I would remove... Oh, this is an interesting screen.
Yeah.
When I was testing it. I would definitely remove the score requirement for the upgrades. I think that would make the game a little approachable. And I'd probably add a health chalice halfway through 1.3. And then I think this game would have been remembered way more fondly and way more approachable than it was.
Yeah, it definitely throws you right into the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, FBS. I think they're censoring the links you're posting. I don't see them either. I don't know if anybody's from FFRs around. It would be good to get Maniacal shout out.
Oh, that's okay.
On the stream for give him a follow. And then if you could link to my Blue Sky, that'd be cool. But if not, I'm sure everybody watching has the capabilities to Google and search on Twitch. I'm sure you can find us both. Also, give Fruit Bat Salad a follow while you're at it. He doesn't stream anymore. Let's do it anyway. Why not? And Poplars. Everybody in chat should follow everybody else.
The work that Fruit Bat Salad put into this run and cutting the time down to what it is. I'm not even going to spoil how good the world record time is, but like it's an impressive run.
Yeah.
So I'd encourage folks to watch that for notably more skillful Kid Icarus play for the vanilla run.
Uh, Also, just to be perfectly clear, the randomizer would also not exist. That's up. Um,
True.
he was did basically the original version, and that really fed into it. And he and I worked together on the first version of it, which was kind of the standard, upload a ROM to a website and we patch the ROM and give it back to you style randomizer. Um, and then I got the bright idea that I should rewrite JavaScript in 6502 assembly, which was a brilliant idea on my part and not a mistake. And ported it to the NES, as an NES ROM. And then obviously later I ported the game to Super Nintendo. And one of the main reasons that I ported is that, you know, there's so much more space and power and things to work with on the Super Nintendo that lets us do things that we just would never be able to do on the NES.
That is.
Oh, bonked your head there.
Yeah, that was. That's okay. We'll revisit this stage. It was a cool stage. That was right at the end of the stage too. That was the randomizer being a little unkind. Some of the World 3 screen stitching is it works, but coupled with the jumping being a little bit odd on some of the inertia.
It's especially odd when you hit your head on blocks. Like it just is like stop. It just stops you and like you drop straight down. It can be pretty brutal. Thank you for linking the Twitch in the stream title, Danny. Or maybe that was there already, but pointed it. Yeah, in fact, I don't even know if the web version of the randomizer is still up and available, to be honest. I think I took it down, ended up porting it on in as a ROM hack to the NES version. But the repository is still out there. I believe it's all open source, so you can find the source code if you're interested in that.
Yeah, we just saw a nice example of enemy momentum coupled to platform momentum.
Yep.
If anyone was watching the strange whiplashing of the platform at the spawn in there. I was gonna say, I thought I was a tile shy of getting that.
Got these nice pink clouds here.
Yeah.
In 3.2.
The World 3 aesthetic is unmatched. It's really great.
I really like World 3. And there's a nice harp out there that's not really going to be all that useful yet. We'll just leave it.
Every once in a while they hang out in inaccessible spots, just kind of taunting you.
Some more Metroids. I mean, not Metroids. I love how cavalier a lot with just like, yeah, we could just use other game stuff, right? Like we can put Mario and put Mario and Tennis as the ref. We can put Metroids in Kid Icarus. It's all fine.
Yeah. It creates this continuity of the Nintendo feel. Alright, we'll see if I can just not die on this jump this time. There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, see, there's the end of the stage. There
we go.
Just as in the vanilla game, in the randomizer, you can take punishing deaths that take several minutes to correct, but that's okay. Oh, look at those guys going down in one hit. That's so satisfying. Also, I dig these little watermelon colored platforms. We're almost
Little
there, as we can tell
little
from the
hairy
backgrounds.
watermelons.
So gotta go around this way. Oh, that was odd.
Yeah, the palette of 3-3 is pretty great. Especially when Pit is blue, I think.
I think it's great in general, but
And nothing feels better than killing Reapers in 2 hits. After how much they've tormented you your entire life.
these guys in one hit is also pretty great.
Yeah.
And we'll see in not terribly long, the 4-1, the falling blocks are gonna be pretty satisfying as well. I'm gonna see if there's not some health in this door. There's not.
Oh, this is a fun room. Ah, shoot, you left too soon. So that is the Specnose room where there's a bunch of Specnos flying around.
Mm-hmm.
But on World 3, the top and bottom of that room is clouds that you can duck through. So you can actually scroll from the bottom of the room to the top while you're fighting them. There's no reason to do it, but I think it's neat.
I was unaware of that, actually.
Yeah. Well, you generally don't stay
Yeah.
for the Specnose rooms unless you really think you need or points or something. So,
Oh, gosh. That
I don't know if that's the
No,
fill or
I
the
was gonna
Collins,
say
but it's one of them.
I think that's the fill. I mean, I might actually just be flipping a coin with that guess, but I think that's the fill, and its trajectory is a little higher up relative to that block than I thought it was, so we get more World 3.
More of the watermelon palette.
It's great. Yeah, we'll try and cruise through this a little faster.
I think you're plenty good. You have 38 minutes. I think you'll make it. By the way, if anybody in chat has any questions about the, feel free to post them in chat. More than happy to chat about it, or the Super Nintendo port. There's a few other games that I've ported. They're all available for you to download in various places.
What all games have you ported at this point? I know you've worked on several.
I've worked, so I've ported Double Dragon 2, Blaster Master, Rygar, Super Dodgeball, Color a Dinosaur, which I did as an April Fool's joke, but it is actually ported.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely missing one.
I didn't know that you had actually done the Color a Dinosaur port. That's
Yeah, it's fully functional and it supports the SNES mouse.
Oh, okay. I thought that was all just like April Fool's posting. But that's actually amazing.
There's also a couple other people that have done some NES to Super Nintendo porting. Infidelity has done a bunch of games, including 5 of the Mega Man games, and a lot of other games. He's been a amazing help for me in getting all of this done. Oh yeah, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. That's the other one. So those are all ported. Many of them, by the way, support MSU1 audio. It's one of the coolest reasons to play these on a Super Nintendo. Put them on an FX Pack Pro, add some cool CD quality music to them,
This is...
and enjoy games in a whole new way.
That was a sequence of screens there. But we made it to the top. Okay.
I am in no way putting infidelity on. Infidelity is super nice, incredible, and this would not have would not.
We're
All
almost
right, so
assuredly going to take a
3-4.
death here, but we'll see how far we get or if we find a health pool.
See if we see Pandora or not this run.
Oh, we'll see
Oh,
Eggplant. We're gonna get to showcase this. No, we won't. We won't. I'll come back and we'll showcase this feature of the randomizer.
You also remove the eggplant if you die.
Yeah.
Turns out. Valid strategy. Climax, yes. The logic definitely has changed in a point. Like if you put in these same seeds in the NES version, you would definitely get different results than what you get here. I would say I only really guarantee that if you're using the same version of the randomizer, just because so many things can impact what it ends up doing, and I don't fully. My goal isn't to make sure that seeds are always consistent across different versions. Oh, we do have a room in the bottom corner. Oh, all right. So this is a room where you can do.
This is.
It's a spicy room.
This is, yeah. I like it though.
First try.
Let's go.
Nicely done. And there we go. We will not see Pandora today, but it's a giant floating bubble. And here is Maniacal shooting blocks in one shot, which is super nice. And not a whole lot different on the randomizer than the normal game, other than you're gonna have different enemies. The screens are different, but they don't actually matter because none of it has collision. But they are randomized just for fun.
Well, the enemies that stand, like the guys that throw the projectiles,
yeah,
they,
and the
they
blocks,
stand
so
at different heights. Like this guy, I can't go get him now.
Yep.
So,
And the blocks will collide with the things, but the flying enemies don't, and you don't have any collision in this at all.
we might get 50 just from these blocks.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get 50 when you're this powered up. Oh, that guy's dead. I don't know what he thought he was doing.
He
fell all the way.
didn't do a great job of whatever his job was. Whoop. I think we might already be at 50, if honest.
You probably are, especially with all the blocks that you've killed. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Not shoot the harpies?
We could leave the hearts on screen, because that'll control when the next group spawns in.
You're not gonna try to get to 999. Oh, you will get a slightly better ending because you have max power, max strength.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So
we get to see
we
another
won't be a
ending.
farmer.
Oh, wait, and we got the double shot.
Yeah.
Oh, is this guy going to persist into the Medusa fight? Let's find out.
They will, yeah, they will keep spawning. He had some blocks there, but then they all despawn as soon as this spawns.
I gotta... You say you'll get a slightly better ending. It involves me not dying.
I have faith in you. If you died, we'd get a better ending the next time. You're committed. You'd finish.
I would. Honestly, 40 minutes to an hour for the randomizer was kind of right about where I thought we'd be, so...
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And GG time. Nice job. Thank you, Maniacal. Nicely done.
47,
And
47. We'll take it.
there we go. We're a soldier. Instead of being
Oh,
a peaceful farmer, we get a spear and sent out to war. I feel like we would be better off without the 5 strength upgrades.
I mean, this is pretty
Uh,
great. Medusa was destroyed and the light of peace returned to Angel Land. I mean, what more can we ask for? This was awesome.
as we've accomplished everything. So these are the original staff credits, and then I've added credits for the randomizer at the end. Um, but you know, we've thanked a lot of the people already. FBS and Fidelity have been probably the two most impactful people in getting this randomizer and this port up and running. So shout outs to them. Do follow Infidelity. I think he is mostly present on Twitter. A lot of great work that he's doing in the community. That's me. I did the SNES port. Memblers, also none of this would exist. He wrote the sound emulator for the Super Nintendo's sound chip that lets us sound kind of like the NES. Pretty good. Betty, I wouldn't exist. I mean, I would exist, but my life would suck. It's my wife. Fantastic. And then Nina and Magnus, my two dogs, they keep me sane and they're all cute asleep next to me. So thank you to everybody there. Thank you, Maniacal. Thank you, Final Fantasy Randomizer, for letting us show the game. It was really awesome. Really shout out. It was great. Maniacal, feel free to shout out yourself or anybody else that you.
No, not gonna shout myself out, but big ups to Rumble for anchoring the commentary and keeping things lively as I played through 2-3 for the fourth time. But no, this was awesome. A lot of fun. This is a super cool vanilla game port to the Super Nintendo of the Nintendo game, which is already awesome. And then the randomizer on top, all built into it, is really, really great. Rumble's done awesome work alongside all of the folks he has already shouted out. And huge thanks to the Final Fantasy Randomizer crew and community for letting us showcase this. I think the self-rando showcase is a really cool way to highlight other games in this space. And so really thank them for the invite and letting us put this on today. It was a lot of fun, and thanks everyone for hanging out.
Awesome. I don't really know. Like, there's a few of us that hang out in private Discord that are into Kid Icarus, but I don't know of where the public. You can check out Infidelity's Discord. There's definitely about it there, but it's not a huge community right now. I would love if people are into it and want to play it and enjoy it and have ideas and want to provide them to me. Absolutely send it my way. You can reach out to me on Blue Sky or on Discord. I'm in a lot of the usual Discords that randomizer people are there. So feel free to do that. And I'd love to see more people playing it. It's humbling and awesome whenever I see people things that I worked this hard on. So it's really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is a really cool project. I definitely encourage anyone to give it a try. Kid Icarus is a tough and unforgiving game, and in ways the randomizer is more tricky, and in ways it's less tricky. So,
it gives you a little bit. It's a little bit easier in a few things, but yeah, there are definitely some brutal times or some brutal seeds for sure.
Yeah, some seeds are rough. I had a really rough go at 1-4, and actually a really rough go at a 3-4 a couple weeks back, but that is also part of the charm.
Awesome. Well, cool. I think that's it from us. Again, really appreciate everybody. Again, thank you, Maniacal. Just this was awesome. Thank you all, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank y'all. Take it easy.